It all starts very, very early in the morning. There's a lot of equipment to be packed on one of our trips. Cameras, tapes, microphones, and of course our clothes. Now we try to travel very light. Well, as light as possible. When everything's packed, carefully, we hit the road after picking up some essential items. Now it may seem pretty exciting stuff to travel all the time, but it's not really. Just ask our photographer, Mike Hesterly.
We've been doing a lot of road traveling, and it's worth it though. The shows look real good, but it's rough sometimes. Just riding in a van for 12 hours is rough because it's pretty boring, let me tell you.
To break up that boredom, we chat with some people who are really experts at being on the road.
Driving a truck, or what are you driving?
I'm driving a truck. A big truck, a diesel truck out of Birmingham. You better get a picture of my truck now.
We got one of your truck. My cameraman's behind me shooting right now.
I want to see this on PM Magazine at 6:30 now on Channel 6.
You got it.
And sometimes that conversation gets pretty exciting.
Hey, I got one of them video cassette recorders. Got a burn, got a burn, got a burn, got a burn, got a burn.
Now it's easy to go a little too fast after a lot of hours on the old super slab, but Mike always has a positive attitude.
Yeah, that's one advantage of being on the road is we get to stop. We get to stop, not on our own. We have other people pull us over and say, hey, you know, you're going too fast. And I like that. I think that's fun. Personally, I like to get pulled over. I try to get pulled over every trip I make.
But it wasn't Mike driving this time. It was our producer, Gary Brown. And that meant it was Gary who got a little on-the-job lecture about following the rules of the road.
Slow it down. I appreciate your attitude, and I can understand you having your deadline speed on there, but then again, we have our laws, and we have to enforce too on there, so we'll slow it down to 55 the rest of your trip on.
Okay, we sure appreciate it.
So we slow it down and drive at a leisurely pace for another 8 hours. Finally, we do arrive at Disney World and get to do some things that make the whole trip worthwhile, like meeting Mickey Mouse. Oh my goodness!
Thank you, Mickey.
And talk about thrilling. Just imagine Mike and Linda from Birmingham, grand marshals of a parade in Disney World. One advantage of these kinds of events is that our excitement always rubs off on the crew.
And to be presented with ears by Mickey himself.
Can't ask for much more than that, you know?
You could ask for $1,000. Now here's a real shot.
And while Linda and I get to be on television, Gary Brown, our producer, is the man who really has the glamour job.
Well, let me put it this way. You get down in Florida weather, it's 90 degrees, about 90% humidity. You carry around 80 pounds worth of equipment for 8 or 10 hours at a time. And I sweat a lot. This is glamour? No thanks.
But at least we do get to eat in some of the finer restaurants. And the crew sleeps well, too. As a matter of fact, we put them up in the finest rooms available. Well, I guess a lot of you are wondering if it really is true that the PM Magazine crew doesn't get the same sort of accommodations as the ones the on-camera people get. Well, I'm happy to report that is no longer true, because as you can see, this is certainly no worse than the room that Mike Hesterly, our photographer, is staying in at the same time. Well, maybe it is just a little bit nicer. But what's really satisfying is a well-planned, perfectly executed shoot.
Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes we'll do things that it's easy to relate to. And you're excited about where you are, you're excited about what you're doing, and so that comes easy, and that enthusiasm should come across. And then there's times when it's just like pulling teeth. Do that one again. Oh, oh, oh. Oh boy, what am I doing wrong? This place is wonderful. Not only are there shells, but along the sandbar you can walk for miles.
As a matter of fact, just the bare bones outline, the very sketchiest pan. But she's getting closer every... I should think it would be self-evident, but let's try it again. Now, sometimes we do get just a little bit punchy. Now, in just a couple of seconds, we're going to take a look at some eye exercises that are helping kids read and see better. Tonight on PM Magazine, we're meeting the man they call the Doctor of Happiness. But you just wouldn't believe all the fun we have. Hey, we're so happy. And lots of it.
Whoa, that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, John Mark, that was fun, huh? Oh, John Mark, that was fun, huh? Oh, John Mark, that was fun, huh? I'll meet you at the top of the water flume.
And we never, ever, ever complain about the work. Oh, always have to do it again. Oh, I had to do another one. Oh, let's always do it again, do it again. And finally, when everything's done, we're ready to head home to Birmingham. And seriously, we do get a lot of satisfaction of showing you interesting places all around the country. We really hope that all your great getaways are truly, truly great, and we'll see you next week on PM Magazine.
Good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.